6th of July, 2025. And yeah, coming to you from a very sunny and warm Israel, where there is a lot going on in the markets, not just the crypto markets, but also crypto markets. And what is specifically happening in the crypto markets? Well, as the title of this video mentions, and as I'll speak about briefly, um, Bitcoin's been chilling pretty much this whole week, and yeah, it had some nice moves up and down, but relatively speaking, it's been pretty modest. Nothing, nothing too low, but nothing too, you know, too bad. You can certainly trade it intraday if you're trading with the VEPs. However, the moves on the BONK meme coin have been phenomenal over the past 7 days. The asset went up just about 50% or so, and it did so because of the VEPs. We saw the asset. I mean, it's by far one of the leading movers in the meme coin space this week, if not the leading coin, from what I saw. I mean, sure, you could probably find some coins on Pump Fun or whatever that moved more than 50% in a week, maybe. I don't know. I didn't actually check every single coin there or on Radium, but looking overall on the leaderboard of the meme coins listed on Coin Market Cap, BONK is right up there in the top of the pack, and it had a significant move over the past 7 days. So if you've been holding BONK, if you bought it at a low, you've been holding it, well, you're going up nicely again. Looking at the 1000 BONK chart, it was up at like 0.021 or 0.022414 or something like that at the high earlier today. Proceeded to come back down a little bit, but still up around the third daily sell level of the VRE. The last I looked at it maybe 5-10 minutes ago. It certainly could mean revert further, up, down, or sideways. There certainly are targets below for it to mean revert too. And there are reverse wave trends that it could drop down to test. And there are other areas where it could certainly test below. But does it have to? Not necessarily, but then again, it did not touch the central daily range today of the VRE. It kind of has been above it the whole day. Came pretty close in the opening candles, but did not actually touch it. In the first candles of the day on the low time frames, it did not hit it, and so it could certainly drop down there and test that area. Doesn't have to, but it could. Do I expect it necessarily to do that? No, I don't. I don't think it has to do that. But again, that doesn't mean it can't. It could certainly drop 5% or 10%, just as it rose 5 or 10% since the last candle of yesterday. Yesterday's the last 4-hour candle in yesterday's time frame. Now, does that mean you should go all in on BONK? Well, I certainly wouldn't. However, that's a matter of personal choice. But does that mean that you can't scalp BONK? No, BONK is actually very scalpable. It is an asset that moves along very nicely with the VEPs. Pretty much as all assets really move along nicely with the VEPs, but something about BONK is very tradable. if you know what you're doing with the VEPs. That doesn't mean there's no inherent risk, because of course there's always inherent risk when you're trading. Hello, nice to meet you too. Hi, hi, I said hi. Hi, hi. I see you. I see you, me. Um, nice to see you. Yeah, so you can certainly trade BONK on low time frames, and you can even hold it on higher time frames if you want, but realize it is a meme coin, so there is a lot of risk in that. But that said, there's usually pretty good liquidity on it, depending on the exchange you're using. So if you're not putting too much into it, it certainly is an asset you can scalp and make some nice little gains on, or even not so little, depending on your position and position size and all of that. Right now, given that, by the way, well, maybe I'll show you. If you guys have been watching my videos, you'll know this field was corn until about a week ago. Now it is plowed earth, waiting for the next seeds to be planted for whatever they will grow next. Who knows? Maybe more hay, maybe corn again, maybe something else. I don't know. Anyway, the point is BONK has been moving very nicely, but what's next for it? Well, again, like I said, there's certainly mean reversions happening on lower time frames across different time frames on BONK, and you should definitely be looking at the VEPs and the VRE levels and the RMLRs to know where those mean reversion targets are, and look at the volatility and the entropy and COV and returns oscillator to know whether those moves are likely to go up, down, or sideways. Right? In terms of scalping it, it tends to make some very nice scalpable moves that go up pretty nicely over the course of a day, or go up and down very nicely over the course of a day. So you certainly can make some nice gains on it. As always, trade carefully, manage your risk properly. Don't put too many eggs in one basket, as they say, and definitely don't over leverage your trades. In fact, I recommend not using any leverage at all. If you don't have to use leverage, why should you? Right? There's really no need. I mean, when you have an asset that, not uncommonly moves 10% or 15% in a day, as it's done, more than a couple times just in the last week, there's really no need to use leverage unless you have some reason for it. And if you do use leverage, you need to be extremely careful because, well, leverage is like dynamite. You don't know what you're doing with it. It can really wreck you. If you do know what you're doing with it, then sure, it's a tool you can use, but you need to be extremely careful using it, just like dynamite. So, BONK, go. Let's see what it does the rest of today. Personally, I think it's going to have some nice little mean reversions, continuing to close, to complete. That's what it looks like anyway. And again, whether that goes up, down, or sideways is kind of moot. If I had to guess, well, then I wouldn't be using the leading information. But overall, it looks pretty good for mean reversions a bit to the downside, followed by potentially some more moves to the upside, depending on where it closes the day, of course, and the week, because today is Sunday, and where it'll open up the new week later today / tomorrow, depending what time frame you live in, or time zone you live in, rather. Right? Meanwhile, Bitcoin has held up pretty nicely, right? Despite coming down a little bit here and there from the 110,000 price that it had some days ago. It came down to about what 108, 107, 108 in that area. So it's really very close to all-time highs. And yes, we could see further drops in the price over the next coming weeks, but it's certainly also possible that we'll see a reversal to the upside. And that means that we could possibly have a very nice week. But again, we take it day by day and we look at intraday time frames when we're scalping. We're trading low time frames because that's just, frankly, a less risky way to manage things. If you think about it, you definitely don't want to swing trade something like Bitcoin or any crypto asset, really, and certainly not a meme coin. Even though, yes, sure, if you went to sleep yesterday on BONK and you were leveraged long in it, or you were just in a long position and you woke up today and it was significantly higher, fantastic. But if you don't take your profits, what are you doing? And also, what if it had gone the other way? Right? Then you'd be in a losing position right now. It just happens to have gone up further than it already had gone up yesterday, compared to like Solana or Bitcoin or wherever. So keep that in mind. Manage your risk. Always remember to take your profits early and often. Limit your loss, meaning get out of trades fast if you're in the wrong side of the trade. And don't be emotionally attached to your trades. So, how are you? Okay, anyway, thanks for your comments. Watch my channel for more videos about trading if you want. Like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. Comment. Be happy for you to do that. It'll help you know when I have more videos out. And I try to put them out daily, but not always every day, based on different factors. So I will speak with you guys later. Have a great day, and take care. Peace.